Okay, so good morning, everyone. This is an AMA we'll be having with SteamX group as well as with the Crypto Trini group. Just to make the disclaimer that this AMA session will be recorded and will be uploaded to our YouTube and social media after. So we'll begin by the SteamX community, just giving their an overview of their project and more or less saying what the project is about, followed by the questions from our community.
Perfect. Thanks, Trini. So, hey guys, good morning, good afternoon, good day. This is the SteamX team here, and we're happy to be here. By means of introduction, my name is Enki, and I am the head of PR and marketing for Steam Exchange. In terms of background, I come from a business consultancy role where I sort of worked for a Fortune 500 company, and then proceeded to just sort of work and switch into an e-commerce sort of more mainstream role that helps scale and manage some large brands. So with that being said, I'm just going to bounce it across to Neville, who is the co-founder and the president of Steam Exchange.
Right on. Thanks, Enki. Thanks for having us, guys. Again, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, depending where you are. So yeah, my name is Neville Devecha. I am president and head of operations for Steam Exchange. So my background stems very much from the IT world. So I've been in IT for my entire career. My first position ever was for a Fortune 500 company, which was IBM, and leading all the way until my most recent position with DHL Express. So my roles within those organizations stemmed from end user support, like help desk, level 2 support, desk side support, all the way to like a senior infrastructure project manager. Excuse me. Gary, I'm not sure if Gary's back, but Gary is the CEO and founder.
No, man, my computer's doing its own thing.
Okay. Did you want to introduce yourself, Gary?
I'm gonna let you finish. So, I mean,
no, I was done. I was gonna pass it off to you, but I was not paying attention to the video. Sorry. So go ahead. Introduce yourself, Gary.
Hi guys, my name is Gary. I'm CEO of Steam Exchange. And guys, what we're doing here, because we only have an hour and we actually have enough material to fill up the rest of your day, we're gonna do a rundown, point form, history, where we are, and what's going on in the future. Should you want to get more details, you're more than welcome to check our full-on AMAs that we have in our group every other weekend. I guess long story short, I got rugged big time by an exchange when it went belly up. It was the largest one in Canada. I lost a lot of money. I was very devastated. And my friends and family lost a lot of money to a lot of scams. The common one: send me money, I'll give you money back, or you need to send me more money. You made money, but you got to send me more money. And we all know it's nonsense, right? So I said, we got to do something about this. This is unreal. There's no way that this can go on. People just get away with it. This is madness. We had a research firm, come back with some numbers. Essentially, the numbers are out of 4. So, okay, so statistic out of 4. So 1 out of 4 people in the world that looked into crypto, wanted to get into crypto, got into crypto. That represents the current world market cap of cryptocurrency, all of it put together. 1 out of 4 attempted to get into crypto, got scammed, like I just mentioned, including my own friends and family. The other 2 out of 4 heard about the good stuff, so success stories, everybody that made it in, and they also heard about the bad stuff. So that's 2 out of 4, 1 out of 4, and 1 out of 4. So how do you get people to trust? That's essentially where we started off our first point of view on, before we developed into doing other major good things in the space. And my team and I, whatever we do, our goal is to make it better and create a new gold standard in the industry. So if we got to do something, how can we make it better? And how can we make it so better that if you don't do this, then there's no reason for you to even begin to do it. So the main problem in this space is the trust factor. Not only the BSC space, any space, Ethereum, whatever chain you're on, I don't care. Problem with exchange is trust factor. You guys hear at least twice a year that some exchange ran away with millions and millions of dollars. So they're all online. Can't really find them. You don't know who's the real corporation. You don't know who's the real owner. There's a face to it. I'm sure you guys know some people pay some Instagram models to be the face of some things, and it's just horrible. So how do you create the trust? Close off notifications. How do you create the trust? Very simple. Why do you trust a bank? And I'm not saying that we are a bank, but why do you trust a bank? Because you have a physical location you can walk into. Right now, if you want to open a ticket on an exchange and you're sitting there panicking, what are you going to do about it? You can send another ticket, email. You can't do anything about it. So why not have a physical location? A physical location where you can walk in and have that human-to-human interaction where you feel comfortable. You want a KYC, you don't want to upload your documents, you feel scared, sure, come in, we'll open it right then and there. So like a support center, partnered with an educational center, that if you do the education, then you obviously get features unlocked to you so that we know you know what you're doing. And Neville will go further on that. This is why I said this is like a tangle of webs with micro details here and there that if you guys want, you can watch on the full-on AMAs and how we develop through them. So physical location, what is that going to give you? The 1 out of 4 people that got scammed, rugged, or whatever, it won't happen to them because they're going to trust the physical location that they can walk into. It doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to come in to open an account, but they can go on the exchange, on the platform, knowing the fact that there is a physical location. And guys, brick and mortar, you can't just up and leave. It doesn't happen. Furthermore to that, we have our DUNS, we have our incorporation, registration, and we have our FinTrack. Again, Neville can go over that later. I'm just doing a quick point for him. Now, if we get, sorry, I'm just going back a little bit here. Effective immediately, right? 1 out of 4 is in. Now, 1 out of 4 got rugged or whatever, and 2 out of 4 don't know how to get in. So what does that mean? It means that 3 out of 4 actually are not in. Okay, and that could be your grandma, your grandpa, your uncle, your cousin that wants to give you a birthday gift of $100 in Bitcoin. Kind of like you go to the gas station and you buy a Home Depot card or what have you. So they could go in, buy you $100 worth of, for instance, Bitcoin, and get a printout of the secret keys to the wallet and gift it to you, right? That's just one example. Now, physical location is where we breach the trust. Okay, so that's already a level up from any other exchange out there. We also have, like I said, all these other licenses. We also have our phone number that actually is working already. What exchange out there do you know that you can just pick up the phone and say, hey, I have a problem. Can you guys help me out? Right? And sorry, again, going back to the 3 out of 4 that's not in. If we, in our method of approach to the public and the community in crypto, are able to get just one of these 3 people, right? Just one, then we would be doubling the ecospace of crypto in the world market cap. Now, I am not saying that we alone can do it. There will be other companies that say, hey, this is a good idea. Let me do it in my country. Beautiful. Amazing. We want it to be available to the community to do good in the space. Again, I got burnt really, really bad when something big went belly up. Again, guys, I'm being distracted here. I'm gonna pass it over to Neville. Neville can amplify on these points and maybe add a few more.
For sure. Thanks, Gary. So Gary kind of touched on a bunch of things that we were going to talk about, but I just want to expand on it a little bit, right? So Steem Exchange, it's a centralized and decentralized cryptocurrency platform. And what does that accomplish, right? So we're trying to create a safe and confident environment for all traders. So not just, traders that want a KYC, for traders that don't want a KYC, but want to benefit from the security and safety of a centralized platform. How we're going to accomplish this is by implementing robust functions and features, and of course, all the proprietary functions and features that don't exist today in a centralized platform. A good example of that is full tokenomics support. So tokenomics is a touchy subject for a lot of people that have transferred their cryptocurrency to a platform that tried to adopt it. We like to call that tokenomics V1. So what V1 for us means is that it's not live, it's not real time. You're not getting your reflections like you should. You're getting them on a biweekly, weekly, monthly, or whatever basis. So it's not really tokenomics. It's just a workaround. What we're doing And the benefit and the unique position that we're in is because we're building from scratch, we're able to implement full tokenomics support into our development. So we've implemented the entire Binance Smart Chain node. So we not only have the BNB chain, we also have the Binance Smart Chain implemented in. So we're able to now do calls and pushes and fetches from this node to get real-time data about any particular wallet that's part of our organization. So if you're trading a cryptocurrency that does support tokenomics, such as Steem Exchange, you will be able to get your reflections. The auto LP will work, the burn function, everything will work, right? As it should, as it's designed in the smart contract. So that's just one example of how we're trying to do things different than other platforms. Gary touched on the physical locations a little bit. I do want to expand on it just a bit. So our physical locations will start off in Canada, right? But that's where we're from. So Gary, myself, Chris, and Enki, we're all from Toronto or just around it. So we do want to, plant our roots in Canada, in Toronto specifically. So that headquarter will also act as a physical location for end consumers. So like Gary mentioned, if you're one of those 4 people that want to learn more about cryptocurrency, you can walk into our location and we'll teach you a bunch of things. So we're not just going to tell you how to trade and send you on your way. We want to give you the full immersive experience, right? We want to fully immerse you into cryptocurrency so you can decide for yourself if this is for you or not. So some of the things that we want to touch on is the fundamentals of cryptocurrency. We want to talk about how it started, what it was, how it evolved into its current state, and what the implementations of cryptocurrency can be in the future. So you have an understanding of blockchain technology, cryptocurrency, what happens when you put a trade in, what happens on the blockchain, what is a block, right? What is a node? So you get to learn all those things so you can verse yourself with what cryptocurrency is. That's step number 1. Step number 2, we want to teach you how to trade. So there's a lot of different trading mechanisms out there, right? And Steem Exchange will have them all. But it's not always easy to go to a platform and just start clicking away and start trading your cryptocurrency. So we want to teach you the basics of trading, intermediate level trading, and advanced trading. So that way, when the time comes that you do want to take a step forward and trade at a higher level, you already have that knowledge and experience because we're gonna put you through that program. And then finally, and this is our favorite part, is we're going to teach you technical analysis. So technical analysis is probably one of the most important factors in trading, and it's the most overlooked. Everyone kind of goes with the hype, they go with the word of mouth, and then they make the trade. But when to get into the trade and when to get out of the trade, that is the most important factor in trading. So to protect your investment and to trade smarter, we want to teach you technical analysis at a basic, intermediate, and an advanced level.
And
so
again, this is based on history. We will not give you financial advice, right, Noah?
Correct. Yeah, for sure. So this is what I was getting at, right? So by doing this, we never have to give you financial advice. We never will, but we also never have to because now you've gone through this program and now you're able to make smarter choices for yourself. So what we're doing essentially is breeding a smarter generation of investors.
Right. So what Neville's saying, guys, in the short form, sorry, Neville, we can teach you how to count. So we can teach you the 1 + 1 = 2. So essentially we can teach you how to do things, but we can't tell you what to count. Whether you count apples, bananas, or oranges, that's up to you. But we want to create the ability for you to learn how to count if you're interested so that you make educated decisions based on your knowledge, because we feel strongly that a lot of people get wrecked because they don't have the basic education, like, oh my God, the stock's dumping, let me dump. I don't know, is that true? Is this like a trap? What do you think about the history? So, based on history, we'll be able to teach you, what happened there, right? So, for example, you're presented with a chart and we take half the chart away, right? So what do you think is going to happen? And then we present you with the other half of the chart and, see where you're correct, where you're not, and how often does this happen. Give you all the analytics that need, from basic to advanced. Sorry, Neville, I didn't mean to hijack it. Go ahead.
That's okay. So how do we get started and where we are today? So we're not like other projects or other platforms that kind of launch a token and say, look what we're going to create. We did the opposite approach. We created the foundations of what we wanted Steem Exchange to be, and now we're launching the token. So stage 1 was, and that's what you're seeing on your screen, was our functional proof of concept. So we put that together. it's not just code, it's not just HTML, it's not, the static page. It's actually a live functioning platform. So we implemented the BTC node, the ETH node, the BNB node. We've plugged in USDT and the Binance Smart Chain. So these are all live trading pairs on our platform. We've also implemented full KYC integration and administrative panels for us to use as an organization. So, yep.
You said this, but do you want to explain this one in particular slightly more?
Sure. So the Binance Smart Chain, right? So you see BNB. So BNB is an odd chain, right? So they have the BNB and then they have BSC, which is a Binance Smart Chain. Essentially, they're one and one, but the way it functions is different. So BSC, what we're going to be using that for is to implement functions and features into our platform, such as the tokenomics we talked about earlier, but also to welcome and list any token that we choose, right? So not any token will be listed, but the tokens that we choose and vet to our platform with full tokenomic support.
Right. So another main reason for it, guys, I'm sorry, Neville. Maybe I just want to say it quickly. You see how it's here and not forcing you to switch back to BNB. So all the other exchanges, what they're doing is they're forcing you to switch back to BNB before you can buy, an ERC20 with it, or Bitcoin or Ethereum. For example, if you go to PancakeSwap, you can't do Smart Chain directly to USDT, for example. It will be a BEP20 USDT. It won't be an ERC coin, token or coin, right? So why is that? They want your money. It's straight up. They're forcing you. Everybody is forcing you to convert back from Smart Chain to main. Why? Because it's a transaction for them, and they're going to bank on it if they can. So we can decide that we don't want to, it's essentially stealing money from you. So if we decide that we want to trade this and this directly, it's the market. You just create the market for it, and it's there. And as long as people are interested to do it, instead of, saving, you save the transaction fee on every single time you do it. Sorry, Neville, continue.
Not a problem. So yeah, just to touch on that a little bit, right? Like blockchains are blockchains. You're sending data to the blockchain, and depending on the market, it's how it bridges between the blockchains, right? So that's what Gary's kind of mentioning or talking about, is that if you want to trade BSC for Bitcoin on Bitcoin's mainnet, you will be able to do that with Steem Exchange without having to pay the intermediary transaction fee. Because again, for us, it's, of course, money is good, right? And as a business, revenue is good. But at the end of the day, it's the user experience that matters for us, right? If you're not having a good time on our platform, if you're not having a good experience and a strong experience on our platform, if you're not getting value from our platform, then why use it? And that's what we see, and that's what we understand, and that's what we want to give you. And that kind of takes us into stage 2. So Gary, if you want to pull stage 2 up on the screen. So stage 2 was our user interface upgrade and the beginning of the development of our mobile apps. So Gary mentioned the DUNS number and what that means. So having a DUNS number in the industry allows us to create signed Apple iOS apps. So our mobile app will not just be on the App Store, it's going to be digitally signed by Apple. So having that DUNS number and having a high rating with DUNS allows us to do that. So this is kind of what our stage 2 UI looks like. And by no means is this our end state. This was the so stage 1 was our ugly stage, is what we like to call it, and stage 2 was let's just put some makeup on it for now, and go from there. So this is kind of our color theme. This is our final logo on the top left, our corporate logo, and this is the look and feel, or the beginning of the development of the look and feel. So stage 3 will come with a completely different user interface, because that's going to be our final state. So that was stage 2. And Gary can kind of click through stage 2 to show you if he can log in. There you go. Oh. Perfect. So this is kind of stage 2. We have more work to do on it, but again, we have started work on stage 3, and that kind of takes us into stage 3. And that's where we are today. And this is kind of the stage that we've been talking about since day 1, right? This is the part we're most excited about, because this is where we get to develop all those functions and features that we do talk about all the time, right? Like such as the tokenomics. And the more bigger function is the integration of the decentralized exchange. This is where it happens, right? Stage 3. So just to go back to where we started, we didn't launch this token to develop this. We've already developed it before we're launching the token. It's the right thing to do. I think projects that launch a token to then launch a platform or to begin development of that platform, it's not the right way to do it, right? You have a lot to prove as a large organization, and I think this allows us to prove it. So stage 3 is where we start plugging in all of our functions and features. So one of the biggest features that we're implementing is the decentralized aspect into our centralized platform. And what that's going to accomplish, or at least one example, and the largest example, is if you put a trade in that's significantly large on our platform, on our centralized platform, the market may not be able to accommodate it. So an example of that is if you're using Binance and you want to buy 100 Bitcoin at market price or at limit price, it may not fill and you may have to cancel your trade. So what we're going to do is, we're going to have algorithms in our code, in our backend, that rate your transaction. And if our platform can fill it, our platform will fill it. If our platform will meet thresholds, we'll fill it to that threshold and then immediately move it to the DEX. And the DEX will fill it to its entirety. Of course, if the chart's very volatile and you do a stop limit or you do a limit, then it may not fill. You may still have to cancel it, but we're increasing your chances of your order being filled by operating this way. So that's kind of one example of what stage 3 has to offer. Moving away from our platform and talking about our business. So Steem Exchange aims to be compliant in the entire world. So when we operate, we want to operate within the realms of the law. And what does that accomplish? So Steem Exchange needs to be able to regulate if the need ever occurred. So we can launch our platform, we can operate as a business, but one day if the regulatory body comes knocking on our door and says, "Hey, we want to take a closer look at how you operate and how you function," we have no problem doing that. We can offer them everything because whatever we're doing is within the realm of the law. So all the functions and features we're talking about, they were deliberated, they were closely examined. We collaborated with our legal team, and that's when we chose to implement them into our platform. It's not just let's just do this. The sky is the limit. No, it was very closely examined and very carefully selected to provide a fully immersive experience for the end user. So going back to what Gary mentioned, so why do people need us? In Canada, specifically right now, and a lot of places in the world, there's a lot of scrutiny around platforms. Specifically in Ontario, Binance was asked to either comply with the legalities around being a dealer or exit the market. So instead of Binance coming in and saying, "Yeah, we'll fix our infrastructure, we'll fix our database and the way we function, and we'll comply," they said, "No, we're actually going to leave. We're going to exit Ontario." So I use Binance, and so do 1.4 million other users in Ontario. So come December 31st, 2021, 1.4 million people will be without a platform. So that's where we kind of step in. We say, look, we're developing our platform around the laws, right? We're developing our platform from scratch, right, to comply with regulatory bodies around the world and their wishes. So you're never going to have that from Steem Exchange where one day in 5 or 10 years, sorry guys, we have to leave your market because we can't comply with your regulatory body. Like, we want to be able to offer our platform throughout the world without that worry. Tie that into our physical locations and our learning. That is actually the number one problem in the space, is that there's not enough qualified investors or eligible investors using these trading platforms. It's kind of the wild, wild west. And the regulations that are surrounding cryptocurrency isn't specifically around cryptocurrency. It's how the platform functions and how the platform behaves, right? And how they manage their user base and their experience level. So with our learning modules, we are going to be creating eligible and qualified investors because you're going to be learning everything you need to learn about cryptocurrency. With that, I do want to pass it off to Enki because Enki will talk a little bit about our marketing. As you mentioned, he is the head of PR for Steem Exchange, so he can definitely elaborate on that way better than I can.
Thanks, Neville. Yeah, most definitely. I'll try keeping it short and sweet at the same time. But guys, I want to start off by saying that many a time with our BSC space being as fast-paced and active as it is, at times it is challenging to recognize a credible project when it comes our way, right? So with that being said, for a project of our caliber, we are looking beyond the BSC space as well. So our marketing efforts have been sort of split across the board, right? So for beyond the BSC space, in terms of fundamentals, we started off by setting up our foundational analytics on our website, as that would essentially be the landing page for anyone outside of the crypto and Telegram world, right? So we wanted to make sure that any marketing spend we have, we are accurately collecting that data, dropping cookies, and essentially over time retargeting those individuals as well. So that was the first step. We then moved on to make website optimizations across the board, just making things a little more sleeker, the language a little more concise, and just cleaning it up across the board. The third major piece was our story was covered by Yahoo Finance, Canadian Insider, and CEO Canada, and they essentially positioned us as a homegrown Canadian crypto startup that was taking on Binance and some other major players, and in an effort to offer complete compliance and create a safe space for crypto investors, seasoned and new investors alike, right? So that was a major win for us. We then proceeded to build out our media base across prominent social media platforms, tying back to the fact that not everyone in the outside world is Telegram or Discord savvy. So we did want to have a presence across mainstream media such as Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, you name it, right? So we started building out our content there. And this essentially ties into our brand identity and imagery for the long run as well. Another major win was Google Ads. So we are actually, Steem Exchange is one of 15 global enterprises that are allowed to partner with Google for cryptocurrency focused advertising. So this is something that we plan on scaling on considerably as we grow, and it's going to be a huge platform to essentially help get the messaging out. So that's a major win. We also then proceeded to integrate a chatbot into our website, again, to help bridge the gap between the outside world, crypto investors, and sort of our community on Telegram and Discord. We have a team dedicated to help manage and provide accurate responses there. We also have a support email. And as Gary brought up earlier in the conversation, we have an actual phone number, guys, where individuals can reach out to. Think about it, right? If you have a dispute or a concern, excuse me, many of us have been stuck on sort of long conversations, long lead times, wait times, just to have, an agent glimpse at our dispute and then give us a sort of computerized or like a standard response, right? So that's definitely not going to happen with Steem Exchange. We value our investors, our community, and we're here to help. So that was beyond the BSC space. When we think of BSC space, it does have a short attention span, right? So we have to try and combine our efforts and spread them across weeks, as well as a few initiatives that are focused and targeted on particular days as well. So with that being said, the typical stuff, right, guys? Reddit CMS posts, we've done a few of those. We've been trending each time and have got some good traffic out of those. Twitter posts have been instrumental to us as well. We've been trending across hashtags like Bitcoin, hashtag Binance, hashtag SafeMoon, and are essentially pulling in investors from across the crypto sphere as well. So that's been something that has worked well for us. Community AMAs. So we've made it a point to sort of go and speak in credible communities such as this to help share the Steem Exchange word, the Steem Exchange vision, and essentially get actual investors who can see the long run, who can see the vision with us along for the journey. So that's why we're here. We have an in-house shill army. They honestly are a force to be reckoned with, guys. So we have close to 200 individuals that have been spending time, effort, day in, day out to make sure that our messaging gets out in an organic manner. And they've been instrumental to our progress as well. So shout out to them. TG announcement channel posts. We've done a few on some fairly large channels, and we will continue to do so. We've also had some media put out in different language sort of optimizations and focus towards different cultural groups. So we had YouTube videos, TikTok videos. We like to position ourselves. We say we're a global initiative with a Canadian focus. So everyone is definitely welcome. We do have a group right now that is sort of consolidated into one, but as the communities grow, we do see opportunity for us to scale into different community groups as time progresses as well. And that is something that we will continue to focus on, is the diverse approach across different languages and cultures. So PooCoin ads, that is something we are considering as well. We have received mixed responses about PooCoin ads, but that is something that is currently on the table. Essentially, guys, yeah, we've seen significant growth from new members, like I mentioned, all across the world. We look forward to your engagement and support. People will hear about the Steem Exchange messaging far and wide. It's just a matter of when. So we have some big plans lined up that also we can't honestly disclose just yet, in the strategic interest of our project and the community. And hope honestly that you guys would be willing to come along for the ride. So with that being said, I'm going to bounce it back to Neville, or we could open up the floor to any questions that you guys may have at this point.
For sure. So I just want to touch on this one more piece before we move into questioning. Just talking about our registrations, right? So we talked about having your ducks in order before you go and launch a token, right? And an example of that is, so we are fully incorporated and registered as a business in Ontario, Canada. Gary, we talked a little bit about our DUNS number and that registration, but the bigger part is that being a money service business in Canada. So what does that mean? So in Canada, in order to operate in the financial industry, you need to be considered a money service business, an MSB. So the government of Canada has granted us our MSB license. But beyond that, we've also registered with FINTRAC. So just to scale it a little bit, in Canada, there's 413,000 MSBs, money service businesses, but only 2,113 of them are registered and compliant with FINTRAC. FINTRAC is that the regulatory group that says, if it's basically the anti-money laundering and anti-terrorist funding organization or agency in Canada. And what it does is it allows organizations such as Steem Exchange or any kind of bank to report any suspected illegitimate activity. So the government of Canada doesn't just hand those out like tokens. They vet you. They look at your background. They do full background checks on the entire organization, every employee that will be dealing with the money service business aspect of the organization, and then they grant you that right. So it is a right, and it's not a right. It is a privilege, right? So we've been privileged by the government of Canada to operate as a FINTRAC registered money service business. And just to talk a little bit about scaling and our organization. So yes, we are growing as an organization. We are hiring. We do have a lot of positions to fill, and we are filling them with Canadian employees. So some of those positions that are immediately needed are developers. So we are expanding our development team. We've put out job postings on LinkedIn, on our official LinkedIn, and Indeed. We've received over 400 responses to those job postings, and we've conducted over 120 interviews in the last 3 weeks. We've shortlisted our applications to 6 candidates, and they're going through their final testing right now. And we're going to select 2 to join our team. So we are growing, right, as a team. And again, we haven't even launched our token yet. So that kind of sums up where we are today and what's to come. As Anki mentioned, there are a lot of activities coming that are exciting and fun, and we do hope you do join us for the ride.
Neville, there are a few questions that I'm noticing in the Crypto Trini chat. Dev wallets logged, how much liquidity logged, how long, 4% to platform means what? Okay, guys. Our tokenomics is basically what they're interested in. If Neville, do you wanna cover that? And then do we have anti-snipe, main vision for the coin, blockchain? Again, these are everything that we have in our AMA, but we're trying to, guys, if we don't answer some of your questions, it's not that we don't have the answer to, it's that we are running out of time because we have a lot of stuff booked today. So you can always jump into our channel, ask one of the admins, or just ask in general in the channel, and the admins will answer you. And without further ado, let's try and get a few answers in, as many as we can. So Neville, if you want to revisit the tokenomics, explain how they work, and I'm sure a lot of people are interested in whether or not we have tokens or not.
For sure. So that's an 11-part question, so I'll answer.
Yeah, it is an 11-part. Yeah, but I mean, it's very well thought out. Yeah.
For sure.
Actually, 12
So
because
yes.
there's another one on the bottom there.
Oh, right on. Perfect. So absolutely, we are doxed. As I mentioned, we are registered as a corporation in Canada. You can look us up on FinTrack, and it'll give you information about our money service business. Pre-sale details. So we are doing a pre-sale on Saturday. It will be through Pink Sale. So that kind of answers your number 9 question as well. We will be using their anti-bot. And it goes block by block. It's not just one block anti-snipe and then you cross your fingers and hope for the best. We are going to use Pink Sale. We're going to configure it. We're not going to release that configuration, so it's gonna start and expire as we configure it. We chose Pink Sale for multiple reasons. One of the main reasons is they are also a startup, right? So they are also a new business, just like us. We are doing a larger launch than what the current state of the BSC has seen. So we did want to offer them, I guess, a partnership, or rather an opportunity to experience a larger launch on their platform and hope that brings them future success as well. Tie that in with their anti-snipe, it was a good match for us. We don't have team tokens, so we don't have dev wallets. No percentage of the tax is going directly to the team or the organization. What it is going to is our marketing wallet and our platform development fund. So what's happening with that is it's not tokens, right? So tokens are never going to be available to the team and the organization. What it is it's swap and liquefy. So as fees accumulate in the contract address, Swap and Liquefy kicks in and it transfers a portion of those fees in BNB to those 2 wallets. So again, we never have tokens to sell. It's all done passively through Swap and Liquefy. We don't want team tokens or need team tokens for this. And as you can see, like we've gotten pretty far in our development without the need to sell tokens. So that answers number 6 as well. So 4% to platform means exactly that. So 4% of the fees will be going to the platform wallet in the form of BNB.
Seriously, I have some questions to ask, and I think you guys have taken a lot of time.
Sorry, let me just reiterate something quick. Guys, you get a lot of projects that come in and do an AMA with you and tell you, I have a great idea, the greatest one of the greatest of all of them. Okay? And then you listen to them and they tell you why they should invest in them. Guys, I don't care about money. I farm. I've been doxed since 2018. I got the YouTube channel that I stopped after I got screwed over by the exchange that went belly up. I farm again, like in a sense that cryptocurrency farms. We have money. We're not here for money. Of course, money's nice, right? It's part of the game. But what I'm getting at is we funded the development before we said anything to anybody about any token. Right. So we had something to show them. So we're not just, hey, I have this great idea. Come give me your money. No. I can't stand a project that tells me you got to wait 3 years for me to show you something. How do I know you're doing anything? What happens if you run out of money? So we funded it ourselves. This is a major difference. I'm not saying I don't care about money. Of course, I care about the money, but we want members. We want the members because no matter how good your product is, if you launch it and it's got all the greatest features and it's the best one on the planet ever made for the next 10 years, you ain't got no members, guess what? You're not doing any good with it. So as I said before, we want to do good in this space. We got to let people know we're out here. So one way that we think is a good way to shine a light, especially in this dark place, and acquire members at the same time is through BSC space. And Neville, I don't know if you want to share the numbers, depending on how much time we have.
I have some questions. Hello.
Go ahead.
Can you guys just give us some time to ask some questions because you guys have used a lot of time.
There's just so much good information I can tell you. You know.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, but nevertheless, go ahead. Yeah.
You guys can go on and on and on and on. You not give us a chance to just ask questions. So I have some couple of questions.
Yeah, I love sharing information. That's why. But go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Now, I have some couple of questions here right now because I've been making a lot of research about this particular project because since when Crypto Trini has posted it. So the first one, I want to ask that, is there going to be a requirement before any token will be listed on the Steam exchange after it launched, after the exchange is finally live? Do you understand what
So
I'm
let me
saying?
let me
Is
let
it
me
gonna be
see
a
if I understand
requirement?
your question. Uh, will other people that want to put a token have to come to us and go through a process, whatever that process may be, before we put them up on the market?
Yeah, sure. To be
Now
listed
you're
on
tying
your
into
platform.
what again, so that's something I believe that we covered maybe in our last AMA, or if not, it will be covered in the next AMA. That ties into our blockchain that we're doing. So very good question. Let me explain it in a short form. We will be doing audits. You will not be able to deploy a contract to our platform without our authorization. Now, I can't guarantee you that a company won't go up 10 years later, because they took some private loans from somebody and they went bankrupt. But I can put a 99% or a 90%, or I can put an evaluation on it based on their business model, the docs that they did, the tangible documents that they have that I can say you're not going to run away, right? And present it to the community. And if they pass the audit to us, we will then list them on our blockchain. We will let them deploy on our blockchain. So I want to eliminate all this rugs, and I've been rugged so many times. I can open a carpet store full of dog shit.
Oh, okay. So when should we be expecting the exchange? The
So
Steam
it's posted everywhere, including our website. But nevertheless, we are aiming for 2022 first quarter.
Oh, okay, nice. Now, I understand that you guys are being incorporated. You guys are actually have the licenses and everything, which is nice. But is there any? Have you guys been audited or KYC?
We've been
Apart from you
audited
being.
already twice from before. We're just tired of it. Put it this way. Let me tell you. Okay, you can go pay 5 different companies to give you 5 different papers for 5 different audits. You're not gonna get a better audit than the government. Okay, if you go ahead and look us up, and in Canada you do have to pay for the name search, it will come up. It will come up with our names attached to it. That gives you legal right, should something go wrong, to take us into court, right? Now, we have our money service business, which is local FinTrack. That's money laundering and anti-terrorist basically functions, right? So in order to get that, we have to go through a criminal background check, paperwork check, everything short of a physical. Okay, so like takes Interpol, everybody's involved, and the government. It's from the government. The government doesn't just hand those out. They have to verify you. They have to identify you, and they have to make sure that you have all your ducks in a row. That is the real audit. If you're gonna look it up. It will have our name on it. It will have our phone number in it as well, that you can pick up and call right now. Okay, that is the government did the ultimate audit for us. We have given them and given the community tangible paperwork and showing them who we are and that our names are in fact attached to the paperwork from the government. That's the ultimate docs, ultimate audit. I've personally been doxed since 2018. Like I said, look up Crypto Manufacturing Channel on YouTube. I was explaining on how to build rigs from the ground up, where you had to have zero knowledge. I've been around. I've been in the Untraceables event. I've been live on TV with the Untraceables event. I have ran the largest Aeon mining pool back in the day from my basement, the largest one in the world. I am mentioned in their tweeters. If you go all the way back then, I can drop you videos, I can drop you photos. And again, we did a whole, I understand if you have questions, but we did a whole rundown today. That's a quick form, right? Because again, like I said, when we started, we could be here talking for 5-6 hours covering everything and all the little details.
Oh, okay, nice. If I understand there are some policies and some other measure on ground. Now, what are the are you guys be able to field some orders? Like some large orders. If
yes. So if you come into our platform and you want to spend, if you come into our platform and you're like one of those really, really, really rich boys, and you want to say, I'm going to spend $100 million today, and I want to spend it all into Ethereum or Bitcoin or whatever, obviously, being a start off, we're new. We don't have that kind of liquidity exchange, right? So what would happen first is our users would get the benefit of being on our exchange. Our users on the centralized end, those orders will be filled first, and then the remainder of it would be filled by our decentralized end that can feed off of multiple sources, making sure that we fill your order.
Okay. That's so nice because you guys actually know everything about this, and I don't actually have any
And
doubt
again,
for this.
I'm sorry if we can't answer all of them. We just, it's the time factor. It's not that we don't know or we don't answer. It's just a time issue.
Okay, one quick question. What will be the commission or the taxes on the exchange itself?
We haven't gone through like exactly like numbers yet because again the markets change. We will when we get closer to live, like around the beta time of it. Right now, it is in testing. We have a bunch of people that were NDA'd in order to test it, and that's it. I can't. We have tiers. Obviously, everybody has tiers, right? There's a referral system. There's the whole when you switch from our token to our native coin, if you were one of the first 10,000 people to do it, you get a different tier, right? So that's a little bit to your benefit. But again, that's if you hold the token all the way to the native and you switch, we'll know. Now, I believe you guys have some whitelists.
Yeah, well, the whitelist competition, we will just announce the winners after for those who asked questions and participated.
Okay.
But, I know you guys are extremely busy, so I know you all would like to continue with the questions, or you will have to scoot.
Yeah, we literally have another AMA coming up in 7 minutes, right? So again, I'm sorry if I don't answer or my team does not answer all of your questions. Feel free to jump in our official chat, ask them, or I would absolutely love it if you guys went on the website, looked at the documents. Neville, Enki, and Chris worked really hard to put in as much detail as we can in there. Neville, I believe the link is through the whitelist, essentially.
The white paper, yeah. So if you go to the website and click on white paper at the top, you should be navigated to the document.
And it's in depth. Again, view our AMAs on our YouTube channel. It's a wonderful source of information. You understand where I'm coming from. We don't have the time slot right now. Obviously, jump in the evening if you want to. I will be available. I will make myself available to go over a few more questions if you guys have. Now, my question to you is, sir, where is the group? 1 second.
Me, I have a lot of questions, but I can hear you. Just continue, please.
Yeah, I think okay. So we do have to be honest. We have 6 AMAs guys lined up after this, so we're trying to have a compact day. But I will say this: please join our official Telegram. We will post the link in this chat if we can. We have a great team of admins and mods in there that would provide an accurate response to you guys. We will be in and out of the group all throughout the day. Like I mentioned, we have a few AMAs lined up, but later this evening, for sure, we will be on there as well. So any of your questions, save them up. If you don't get an accurate response, we're happy to do that as well. So
your internet seems to be cutting out.
Yeah, but Gary, before you go on, you said you have a question for us.
Yes, sir. So for the AMAs that we're doing today and up until maybe an hour or two before we launch, I have a request from you because you have a large amount of members that have not attended yet, that may or may not be on a different time zone. I'm going to add your group to my personalized bot. It is not a bot. I'm not asking you to take off your securities. It will come from my name. It logs into my account and does what I tell it to do. It gives out a message every 2 hours, and that way it covers any potential members that weren't here that were missed. And it drops one post every 2 hours. So if that's okay with you, I'm going to go ahead and add your group to that bot, and of course we'll turn it off right before we launch.
Okay. Yeah, not a problem, bro. Not a problem. I like the project, though. I don't mind. At least if you help send the message to the person who missed it. Between now and the launch, which is tomorrow, so it will launch for about approximately 24 hours. So that will be like 12 messages.
That is correct. Well, put it this way: every time I add a group, I'm gonna have to restart it, and we only have like 6 more, so you might get an extra 6.
Okay, no problem, not a problem, not a problem. Okay.
I appreciate you.
Okay, guys. So thanks everyone for attending the AMA, we will announce the whitelist winners after, as well as this video. AMA will be uploaded on our YouTube channel, and I will also share it with Gary and his team so they can upload it as well. Other than that, everyone, please stay safe. Have a nice day, and looking forward to seeing you guys again soon.
Thanks so much for having us, guys. Take care.
Good time, Trini. Alrighty, thanks everyone. Stay well.
Yep.
Honestly, Trini, man, this is a very nice project, man. I'm bullish on this.
For the past few
Well,
many of the projects.
I have a lot of questions, but I the time factor and stuff. But seriously, I'm bullish on it. But I actually want to be on the whitelist because I'm going all in this. I have made my personal research about the project. I have checked the website. I have even searched the name online to be sure that they are incorporated. And actually, I found it's wonderful. Like they are